We're looking at a Gravely proturn 260 commercial grade zero turn mower here. If you don't know much about Gravely, they have been around for a long time. They make those old walk behind mowers. You can put all those tiller attachments and, you know, kind of like a bush hog, kind of like the DR type mowers, if you look up the old Gravely stuff. But they've got a good name. They've been around for a long time, and they just a good built machine. So these here, the way I think it's kind of the way their product line works. You've got, and I'm sure I'll be off on a couple of these digits, like the ZTs, I believe, like you'll notice in the model numbers, they'll have a letter in front of it and say we're talking about mowers with 60-inch decks. They have like a ZT, I think 60, which is their lighter built mowers, and then it'll go to 160s, which is like another series, and then your 260s, which is your heavier series, and then there's 460s, which is the heaviest, most expensive as far as commercial grade. I believe there's probably some ones underneath that as far as lower than, being a little bit lighter. But that's kind of how they run. So when you look at these, that's one thing to look at. You can get, there's still commercial ones that are, I think, the 160s. If it's just a two-digit number, most of the time that's your residential line. But anyway, this is a 260. So this is a commercial grade, but it's not the heaviest. But I'm here to tell you it's a heavy built mower. It's got the caster wheels on it are real big. If you can see there, they're actually kind of treaded. The grass flap, if you can look there, it's not one of those fold up plastic deals with a spring. I mean, it's a pretty cool the way it works. It kind of pulls out and up and then slides in place, and you can turn it up like it is there. You can fold it out pretty easy, but even when it's out, it's real flexible, but it's stiff enough obviously to keep your grass and stuff down, but you can bump in and rub in against stuff and it don't mark it up or don't break it. And I do like that. That's the only one that I have seen on any of the commercial mowers like that. Now the platform and everything sits real comfortable. The seat's not bad on here. I do like a lot of the seats on the X Marks and the Scags a little bit better, but these are all these zero turn mowers. You got a lot of seat options. This has got the rollover protection with the fold down top, which is what you want because tree limbs, I know people think, well, why do you want to fold it down? It defeats the whole purpose. Well obviously if you got a box trailer or something, if you're mowing commercially, but if you are going under tree limbs and stuff, or clotheslines or swing sets, anything like that, they just hang up on it. So for the most part, if you got a flat yard, you don't need it anyway, so it's nice to have that to fold down. The controls, the joysticks on it, I'm not a huge fan of. As you can see, they are different than most zero turns. Instead of the whole bar moving, it's just the top half. Really, I guess, and I say I don't like it, but I'm just not as familiar with it as the other ones. But, it allows there to be a little bit more, I guess it would be more gas tank room or, control panel room. As you can see where the key and the throttle and everything is, it's a little closer to the seat than normal just because you're not having to fold those controls out to put it in park. But I do like that they're a lot thicker, and the padding on them's real thick. They're pretty comfortable controls on it. So there's good and bad, but these are the only ones that are made like that. I think I'm pretty sure there's not. I think everybody else, the whole arm moves in and out because that's kind of what puts it in park and everything. But this is a good heavy mower. The tanks are up high, which in my opinion puts too much weight up high, but this one seems to handle pretty well. I mean, it doesn't do as good as my Turf Tiger, and I've got a bigger X Mark that's a little bit better, but their tanks are under the seat, so that makes a big difference. But this thing is heavy enough that it doesn't scoot around a lot, and when you just look at it and in person, it's just really thick and heavy built. Like there's nothing cheap about this thing. So I've been really impressed with it. I like the deck adjust being on that right side. That's a personal preference thing. The most mowers, they're all somewhat similar, but I like the way this one's set up here. Other than that, it's as far as the other ones go, it's comparing it to the other ones, it's there's a lot of similarities, but there's I think it's a longevity thing with Gravely. Like they've got a pretty good name, and everybody that I've talked to that runs them have really been impressed with how long they last and how well they hold up. It's got I think there's ZT 5400 hydro motors on them, which those are well-known motors. And those will go on other types of other brands too. That's a plus with these. Other than that, I don't know that there's anything real significant. If y'all know any different things about these mowers that you like or don't like, feel free to add those in the comments, because I'm obviously trying to help people that are looking at used mowers. But I did learn that, and I thought that was pretty handy to look, because you'll find that there'll be a lot of just like the ZT, the basic models, but it's a little more trickier to find the 260s and 460s. Again, when you're looking at those numbers, obviously your last two digits are your deck size. They make the 248, the 252, or 254, I think, something like that. 260, 272. So it's the same way with all of them. When you drop down another grade, the 162, or the 160, the 154, all those are, they're just a lighter grade mower, but the same size deck. And then you go down to the more residential line, which are the 60s and the 40s. They're just a two-digit number. So anyway, definitely they offer the same, pretty much the same motors as X Mark and Scag. So you're not sacrificing anything there. This one here in particular is a fuel injected Kohler. I like Kawasaki, just in my experience, but the fuel injected is real nice. It starts real good. There's no smoke, no choking. It's really clean. Now, as far as how long they go without needing adjusting, I don't know. But definitely, if you see one of these mowers pop up, you should check them out, because they're very well built, and they handle themselves really well. So thanks again for watching. I hope this helped out, and if be sure and check out some of my other ones. I've got some other mowers that we've looked at on here and talked about. So thanks again.